Nothing Phone 2A, the all-new budget phone from Nothing. Shout out to Nothing for sending this phone out. They made this possible today, although this is going to be a look at the Nothing Phone 2A. And it says, "Welcome to Nothing." Well, isn't this exciting? Moments like this are why we're here. The anticipation to get
started to unlock something new. Thank you for being part of our world. Hear your voice and be heard and collaborate. So you could see they're giving me a little message there.
Right in the box, and you could see here is the all-new Nothing Phone 2A. Now I already set this up out of the box, but this is going to be an all-new version with the 7200 MediaTek Dimensity chipset, 12 gigabytes of RAM on this one, and this does have Android 14. Now it's facing off today against a similarly priced Galaxy A54, which comes with an Exynos chipset, and it has around 6 gigs of RAM. But you can get this one with around 8 gigs of RAM as well. And this is going to start at 319 British pounds in the UK. Also, this is 349 via the developer program here in the US at 12 gigs, 256 storage. And you can get it. You can also get it starting in India for around 23,999 rupees. So definitely a really good bargain for what you're getting. As you can see, the tried and true glyph lighting right there, so definitely gonna have 3 right there. And it's a pretty unique design here with a very different camera look. This is definitely gonna stand out as something that definitely looks different in the marketplace, so very nice. Right, so let's go ahead and get on with the boot up test between the Nothing Phone 2A and the Galaxy A54. We'll begin with a boot up in 3, 2, and go, and see which one can get there first. Now keep in mind, Nothing Phone has Android 14, as does the Galaxy A54. The Nothing Phone has 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is definitely like twice as much as my A54. But the thing is they come in at the same price, so they are comparable. Also, the Galaxy A54 has a 6.4 inch screen. This has a 6.7 inch screen. So that's something to keep in mind if you're wondering why does it look smaller. That's why. Also, the A55 is on its way soon, so I'll be sure to compare these two when the A55 does arrive in studio. But I'm really excited to see how these two budget phones face off against each other. The Nothing Phone with the first victory when it comes to the boot up test. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and see how fast it is to unlock the Nothing Phone 2A. You can see right here we do have the fingerprint sensor, a nice clean look right there. And this is pretty quick here, so quite nice on this phone. You can miss sometimes if you're like going too quickly, but that's also the case on the A54. Now, if you've seen right there, the A54 definitely looks slower. And don't get me wrong, the A54 is not Samsung's fastest phone, so don't think I'm just putting this in the video to make it look bad. But this is kind of like a little bit slower, as you've seen right there, to just unlock into the phone. The only reason these are compared is because they're around the same price. For the same money, you can see what's available today. Okay, so for the Nothing Phone 2A, I just want to show you the specs here. Right here, you'll see we have ourselves the MediaTek Dimensity 7200 Pro. That is a TSMC CPU, and it also is 4 nanometer. Over here, we do have ourselves 12 gigs of RAM, plus I have the 8 gig of RAM booster on, which is available for this phone. So that gives us around 20 gigs of RAM. And okay, so what about navigating the user interface on the Nothing Phone? You can see very snappy, very quick. Honestly, I was testing this before making speed tests because I always do that to make sure I'm not just coming out of nowhere, not knowing what I'm talking about. But I have to say, this is performing at near a flagship level. I'm not going to say quite a flagship level. The Nothing Phone 2 is a little faster, but this is more of an upgrade to the Nothing Phone 1, and it's actually faster than that phone at a cheaper price point. So the Nothing Phone 2A is a very, very snappy feel. Now, the Galaxy A series line, I've actually been pretty happy with the 6.1. They've actually made this feel quicker, although when you first boot this up, it definitely can feel a little bit slow. Generally though, I don't think it feels quite as snappy running through the user interface as the Nothing Phone's UI, but it's still very feature packed and it's still got that Samsung, feel. So if you like that, there's that. Okay, we've arrived at the app test. I just want to show you that we are running Nothing OS 2.5.3 right here. That's the latest official version with Android 14 on both phones. So let's begin with calendar, 3, 2, go. You can see basically a similar launch. Let's go into calculator, fast on the right. This is going to be interesting because let's go into clock. That was pretty much the same, because the Nothing phone has all this nice spec for the price, but the One UI has fixed a lot of animation issues for Galaxy phones. Let's go into Play Store. Let's see, I think a little quicker on the right. Let's go into PUBG. Pretty much the same. Let's head up out of there. You could see very good animations on both. Let's go into Twitter or X. And this is basically equal. Let's go into Profile. Pretty much the same. We'll go here. And you can see the Nothing Phone 2A and its other color, the black color. Let's get out of there. Let's go into Instagram. This is the milk color by the way. Let's go into my page. And you can see overall pretty comparable so far. Let's see. Let's get up out of there. We'll go into eBay. Faster on the left. I do think the Nothing has better scrolling though. Best Buy, and it definitely feels a little like smoother than the A54, but the A54 has come a long way with this One UI 6.1. The animation a little slower there. Let's go into Starbucks. I would say the name of the game with the Nothing phone is better consistency. Let's go into Jetpack Joyride, but you still have a lot of features on a Samsung phone, but I feel like the optimizations, the consistency might be a little better on the Nothing phone. Samsung, no, pretty much the same. App launch about the same on Jetpack. Let's get up out of there. We'll go into Temple Run 2. And you can see the game mode does trigger. Again, the RAM booster allows apps to be running in the background even better. This is faster on the Nothing Phone 2A. And I did test these prior, and honestly, if I'm being my personal bias towards what I experienced testing these prior was that the A54 generally felt more laggy. Let's go into Subway Surfers. Whereas I didn't really feel like there was any lag on the Nothing Phone 2A. Let's go to Tap to Play. And that's not because they send me the phone. I purchased the A54 on my own money. I'm telling you just what I experienced. I do want to see improvements to the A55 though. Let's go into Hill Climb 2. And you can see Hill Climb 2, but I have to say one thing I am happy with is that I think the A54 is a better value now than it was when it came out due to One UI 6.1, improving the animations. See, now both of them are really good here. One of the things though is that the Nothing Phone has a hyper engine and a really good cooling system, so it might be able to hold better frame rates in more intensive games better than on the Galaxy A54. So if that's something that you care about, you might want to go ahead and think about that. So we're going to go ahead and hit play, and pretty much the same on this more casual. Let's get up out of here and we'll go into the Free Fire. I will say though that the Nothing Phone 2A is definitely not as good as the Nothing Phone 2, but it's probably better than the Nothing Phone 1. And I expect Nothing to bring out a more flagship grade upgrade to Nothing Phone 2 probably later this year, maybe around July or something like that. We'll see what happens. But let's go into PUBG Mobile. And there is the good lock enhancement for Samsung where you can remove the double swipe, but I'm not going to turn that on in this video because you can't do that on Nothing, so I want to keep it more fair. Let's see which one can launch PUBG first. And it looks like the Samsung in the lead, but sometimes phones look like they're in the lead, but they don't actually get there first. But looks like it might be getting there quickly. Yeah, so the Samsung won it out there. So the Nothing Phone could probably use a little bit more enhancements and some updates for maybe like a boost in the app launch. So Samsung took it there. And we'll go into Geekbench 6. And I can't wait to see what the benchmarks say. I think that was a Samsung. Let's go into 3D Mark. And you'll see maybe the Samsung. I think it was the Samsung. Let's go into InShot. So the animations definitely improved on the Samsung, but you're getting a lot. You're still getting a lot though for your money on the Nothing Phone 2A. Bigger screen, big battery. Let's go into Speed Test. Big battery on the A54 as well. Faster on the left. So they traded blows in a few areas. Overall, I think they're pretty much neck and neck. Very good competition here. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the RAM. That's going to be interesting. Okay, so let's focus on the RAM and animations going back through the Nothing phone. And this is where the Nothing phone impressed me last year, was kind of just how it holds the apps, the smooth feel. Of course, we got a double swipe here, but on the whole, I'm pretty darn happy so far. Everything held in the background. This doesn't feel nearly as quick though as the Nothing Phone 2, but that's not its competition. That's not its point for existence. So I'm gonna weigh my expectations here. Again, I usually test flagship phones, so I can definitely see that difference. But overall, it did really good job. I mean, I would have expected some reloads. It didn't really reload anything there, so very good there on the Nothing Phone 2A. In the past, this is where the A54 let me down, was in reloads. But One UI shows better animation performance than ever before. And we have a reload there on Free Fire. This is 6 gigs of RAM with no booster, RAM booster. Let's go to Subway Surfers. That's a reload on Subway Surfers. That's a reload on Temple Run. It's over. Game over. Nothing Phone wins this one. Let's go on to Starbucks. I mean, it should. Animations. Yeah, the animations still look a little bit choppy there. It's not really Samsung's fault. They're doing much better One UI 6.1. It's just that this phone is let down by less RAM and a slower processor. It just can't feel as quick as like an S series. Although I don't expect it to. Did pretty good with most apps, but it did relaunch some games, so it couldn't hold the heavier stuff. The Nothing Phone takes this round at around the same price point. The Nothing Phone definitely takes this round. Okay, so the Nothing Phone 2A is finishing this test first, indicating a better performance overall. And 1114 on the single core, 2534 on the multi-core score. Again, this is not flagship level, but pretty good overall. Not bad. By comparison, you'll see a little bit behind the S24 Ultra, but you'll see it's definitely outbenching the Samsung here in the single core, but it didn't win out there in the multi-core. So again, though, very comparable scores, I would say, for both these phones. Okay, and the Nothing Phone 2A with the win, 1157 on the overall score. And then the Samsung A54 806, average frame rates around 7 FPS in this test for the Nothing Phone 2A, and 4.83 on the A54. You can see that this score is better than more than 23% of devices, and over here only better than 12%. So according to this test, the Nothing Phone 2A, at least graphically speaking, should be around 2 times faster than the A54 at the same money. Also, the Nothing Phone 2A's cooling is very good because I feel zero heat right here. I'm actually feeling a little bit of toastiness right here in the A54, so I think they did a better job with the cooling on the Nothing Phone 2A than Samsung did here on the A54. So that's pretty good. The Nothing Phone 2A with the win in the 3D Mark. Last thing I want to do is go ahead and launch their cameras, because it is an important factor. How fast your camera launches, it can mean the miss of a shot or getting the shot. So we'll bring in our little Android man right here, and let's go ahead and back it out a little bit. And let's launch the cameras. 3, 2, go. And faster initially on the A54. 3, 2, go. And you see faster on A54. What about going through the lenses? Nothing Phone seems nicer when going through the lenses. Let's go ahead and take a quick shot here. 3, 2, go. Funny enough, the Nothing Phone 2A actually has a Samsung-based camera system, so that's funny. But overall, wrapping it up, the Nothing Phone 2A looking like quite the bargain here. You're getting a near flagship kind of feel here, look and unique design. And some people might not or might prefer this over even the other Nothing phones. You got yourself some black buttons here and then a nice location. Power button's not too high, 6.7-inch screen. It is wrapped around like plastic here, but we do have a USB-C. We do have ourselves a SIM card tray, speaker grill, and the punch hole camera, dual setup, 4K. And overall, just a really nice phone for the price. The A54 is also a really nice phone for the price. Kind of feels like a premium Samsung at less money with a little bit cheaper materials. At the end of the day, great options in the budget arena, with the Nothing Phone 2A being a great entry and a great way for Nothing to kick off the year of 2024. I'm excited to see where they go next. Let me know your thoughts on which one you thought would win and which one you would pick down below in the comments section of this video. If you found it enjoyable, entertaining, informing, click the like button for me, subscribe for more. I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.